store.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is Millennium Kwacha. Millennium Kwacha will bring you nothing but the best of content and to ensure that you have the best of breakfast TV. My name is Paul Shingongo. Now, like usual, on our financial literacy segment, today we discuss issues to do with money. And joining us in this series is someone that is not new to the screen. I'm sure you know this person very, very well. I'm talking about Jen Mazimba. She's a personal finance educator and banker as well. Jen, welcome to Millennium Kwacha.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It's always good to talk to people about money.
Of course. I mean, money makes the world go round. It does, though.
Okay. Love is there without money, right?
Do you know, like, how the earth spins? At the axis there, Padikapao Kandala.
I love that. We're going to enjoy this series. We have various topics with Jane. Yeah, but generally, this year, before we even begin to this topic, generally, economic-wise, how has been this year for you?
For me personally, I think this year has been good. Do you know what? I was saying this last year. I feel like last year slapped us around financially. Yeah? COVID happened. We went into lockdown. Most of us weren't sure. For people like me, we were looking and saying, okay, am I an essential worker? If my company decided to start downsizing, I don't have any qualms about saying, because I'm in sales, I might probably be one of the first people to go, like when they start downsizing in the banks, you know, because the tailors will remain and the treasury people and the IT, but who will they let go? So that then allowed me to take a look at my finances and start moving things around. I've been on this journey already for 3 years. So last year was just like consolidating and changing a few goals around. So I feel like last year helped me really set myself up. And this year I'm sort of just continuing and building on top of that. So financially, it hasn't been bad. Yeah, it hasn't been bad.
Awesome. Moving on to that. Today we're talking about financial goal setting. Why is this topic very important to our viewers?
To your viewers, to you and me, to everyone, financial goal setting is so important because you have to know what you're doing with your money. How many times have we heard of ladies say, oh my gosh, I was in this savings group, I saved 30 pin the whole year, and then at the end of the year, the 30 pin, they blew it, right? They saved, they did well, they saved, they grew the money, and then because they didn't have a goal for that money, they went and spent it elsewhere. So your money must have a task. What do you want it to do for you? It must go to, you have worked for it, and then it needs to start working for you. So it's important to set goals for your money. You tell it what you want it to do. Also, it's important to set goals for your life. Usually when we talk about financial goal setting, you say, oh, I want to buy a car, or I want to buy a TV, but why are you buying the car? What's the end game? So when we talk about goal setting, I always say, think about the person that you want to be. Set your goals not for Jane now, but for Jane 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? So what do I need to be doing with my money? So you set your goals that way. And then there's this other thing, psychologically now, there's this thing called RAS. So your RAS is your reticular activating system. It's the thing where, imagine like when you decide today, like, oh, I want to buy a Fortuner. Everywhere you look, you start seeing a Fortuner, right?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Exactly. Or like, oh, I want to buy a pink puppy. Suddenly you start seeing pink puppies where there are no pink puppies. So what that does is, on a mental level, when you tell your brain what you want, it starts eliminating all the noise. So the BMWs will be eliminated, the Hiluxes will be eliminated. It will help you focus on the thing that you want so that you're able to focus on doing the things that help you achieve that. So goal setting is very, very important because it just helps you zero in on the things that you need to do and eliminates all the other noise. You also start spotting opportunity where there was no opportunity before. Because now I want to buy a Fortuner and I need, I don't know, 600, 1 million. million, suddenly where I was driving past every day, I look and I say, oh, I can make money from here. Or maybe if I put money here, it can grow. So those are the importances around setting goals.
But now, my major thought to that, very, very important, however, is the issue of bills, for example. This is someone that gets money, you have a revenue, but you have other pending. It's like they are waiting for the money to come.
Yeah.
Before even the money comes, the money knows where to go already. So why now? Where's the place for goal setting in terms of your finances when you already have things lined up that are waiting for your resources?
So those things, are they essential to your life?
Yeah, you need to pay bills, you need to pay rent, you need to pay school fees for children, you need to buy food. Yeah.
Okay, so rent, food, school fees, those are essential, obviously. But there are other bills that, okay, so let me actually stick to the three.
Yeah.
If I want to be a millionaire, does my child need to go to a school that pays 60,000 kwacha a term, right? So do I need to send my child to that boarding school that charges me 60,000 kwacha? Or could I find a really good school here in Lusaka where he can go and I'll pay 10,000 or 20,000 and he'll get good quality education, right? If I want to be a millionaire and I need to put money and invest it, do I need to stay in this big 3-bedroom house when it's just me and my son? Could it be that I can move to a smaller house and reduce that rental bill, and so that I start saving that money towards something else, towards who I want to be in the future? So bills, yes, bills are valid. You need to eat, you need to wear your clothes, you need to, you know, but what can I do around those bills? Okay. The other thing you can think about goal setting is, if this is what I need to achieve, is it then possible that I should increase the amount of income? If my money that I have now coming in is already paying other things, is it now an issue that maybe I need to find other streams of income to help me achieve the things that I need to do? So when you talk about goals, and what you asked me was valid, but to me that sounds like an excuse. And it's something that everyone will ask you. I'll say save, and they'll be like, I don't have money to save. It's an excuse.
Which is, I think.
No. There's always something. And if you can't start doing it on small amounts and building that muscle, then even when $1 million per month drops in your lap, you will blow all of it.
Yeah.
We always say this. It's very big. It's a lot about habits, and it's a lot about mindset. So you have to start training yourself around that.
Awesome. That's a very, very important subject. Why do you think people don't set goals in their finances? What are some of the things that limits them?
I think the biggest thing is they haven't established their values. They haven't decided what's important, right? It's possible, for example, for me to say, I'll give a personal example. If you follow me or whatever, you've heard a part of my story. Security is very important to me, right? So security in terms of stable income, in terms of having a house, because at some point I didn't have a house. I had to move into my parents' spare bedroom. I had lots of debt that I needed to get rid of. So security is important, right? I have established in myself that that's important. Okay, so but then I can't be walking around here telling you security is important, but every time I have money, I am on a trip, or I'm not investing towards buying myself a house or building myself a house or setting up investments so that if something happens, then I have a cushion. It means my values and my money is mismatching. So you need to sit down and look at yourself and say, what's important to me? If you're not sure what's important to you, look at where your money is going. If you track your spending for the month, they say money goes where it is valued. So the chunk of your money, where is it going, right? If it's going into a ridiculously big house and you live alone, or it's just you and your wife, because I see you're wearing a ring, it's just you and maybe prestige is important to you as a value, right? Maybe if you're like me, you have a relatively small car but you travel a lot, experiences would be important to me. So you see where your money is going, then you establish what are your values. Now, if where your money is going is not measuring up to your values, then you need to sit back, look at your goals again, and say, are these goals speaking to the values that I say are important to me? So if security is important to me, am I putting away enough of my income to build that security for myself? If it's going to buying shoes, then I might say maybe security is not as important, or maybe I need to realign and all the money that's going to shoes starts going to security. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other factors that could cause people not to make goals in terms of finances. I understand that.
Values are important,
Yeah.
because usually if you know your values, then it's easier to set goals. But then sometimes we just don't know, you know. My parents never sat me down and told me, oh, Jane, you must set financial goals. They said, go to school, get good grades, get a good job. Yes, that's important to them. I think it was also like a security thing for them as well. But that's what we were taught. Nobody sat down and told us like, oh, you need to save money, or you need to learn how to invest, or you need to compound interest. Those are things that we didn't know growing up. So people might just not know. And that's why it's important to have programs like this and conversations like this, that we start putting out the knowledge so that people start learning and they start being aware. Because again, I can't learn what I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's no information and I don't know that I don't know. Our friend, the Honorable, said something. He who knows not.
Knows not that.
Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting things. What steps would you encourage that person watching us, maybe in a particular compound, they want to set goals? What would be the first step you'd recommend for them?
So, like we said, the first step we talked about is knowing your values, what is important to you. And maybe values might sound technical. Just say, what are the 3 things? If you take our masterclass, we say, what are the 5 core values? In this case, just 3. What are the 3 things that are important to me? Right? For me, it's security, it's family, it is experiences, right? So now around these 3 things, what am I going to do? So after I set my values, the next thing I go and set a goal. If we talk about security, what can I do around security? I need a house, okay? I need an emergency savings. I need my child's schools to be sorted, whether I'm here or not. So then I can say, oh, first step, let's build an emergency fund. Oh, let's start a little 500 kwacha fund so that maybe in 2 years' time, I can use it to do foundation for my house. So your values will feed into your goals, and then your goals will feed into your actions. What do I need to be doing now so that I am feeding the Jane that I want to be in 10 years' time? Yeah. And then obviously you need to go back. Usually I would stop here, but I just remembered that if you just stop at setting goals, I'll be saving 1,000 kwacha per month, you end up losing it. So what you do next is you start reviewing. You look at your goals. This is something I learned from my friend and business partner, Moaba. She has her goals on her phone. And she says she looks at them every day. For me, I used to write it down in the bedroom. In my office, I have a little thing where I have my goals. So now I've also transferred those to my phone so that I can look. Sometimes in the morning, I'll look. Sometimes I'm in the office, I don't have anything to do. I go and look. How am I doing against this? Maybe my emergency fund was meant to be 30,000 kwacha, right? What have I been doing towards it? Is it now at 8? Is it now at 20? Am I on schedule or behind? Or am I ahead of schedule? Am I doing better? So you keep going back, reviewing. And then your goals will change. We talked about COVID, right? So maybe building a big house was important for me in March of 2020. But then now, there's COVID, it's just me and my son, and things are looking shaky. Maybe we don't need the big house, we just need a cute little 2-bedroom house, right? So the goal might change, and that's okay. Or maybe we're expecting a baby on the way, or an extra person in the family, so now the 2-bedroom won't work, it needs to be 3. So those will change a little bit, but the only way you feed that information is when you're looking at them and reviewing regularly, seeing how is it going, what can I change, how can I get better. Yeah.
Awesome. When you talked about the emergency fund, in my mind I was like, I need to find a way of convincing Jen to go and read through some of our goals for this year. But thank you so much. Very interesting insights that you brought on financial goal setting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next topic.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jane. That's why we wrap up today's particular topic on the Financial Literacy on Breakfast Show. We're discussing financial goal setting with the Mog herself, Jane Mazimba, a personal finance educator as well as a banker. Join us yet another segment on the financial literacy. My name is Poshingongo, back to the studios.